Hello, hello, hello. I'll give it a second for people to get in here so I can bring y'all up to speed. I can see the chat. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you guys, you're all looking for Miss Sissy. There she is, back there scratching her ears in her little sweater. Sissy, say hello to everybody. She's so fuzzy faced right now. She's going this weekend for a haircut. All right, guys, good. Everybody's filling in. Hey, Otto, I see you. Langley, thank you for posting that link, Langley. All right, we got 350, 370 coming up. All right, so bring everybody up to speed on what is going on here. I haven't said anything about this publicly yet. Hold on just a second. Get back to this chat here. I don't know if that is the real news now, Patrick, or not. All right, so I've been quiet on this while it's been going on because I've been doing some research and kind of waiting to see how it played out. Patrick, if that's you, tell me the last time you called me. Because there's a fake Patrick account. When earlier? What time? All right. Damn. There you go. All right. So News Now OkC is Tim Harper. Okay, we're almost to 500 people. I appreciate you guys popping in here. I try not to go live unless it's important. Tim Harper, News Now OkC, who is he does a lot of First Amendment stuff, but he also does a lot of Second Amendment stuff. So recently he entered, Oklahoma just passed constitutional carry, and it also allows for open carry. They the changes in the law will come from a lot of hard work by Second Amendment activists in that state. So after they passed that, News Now OkC went to a restaurant. Okay, it is a restaurant that serves alcohol, which is permissible. Basically, in Oklahoma, they have a similar setup here in Texas, and if the business does 51% of their income and business comes from the service of alcohol, you cannot carry certain weapons there. You can carry a licensed handgun, I believe, but that's it. If 51% of their business comes from selling food, then you can carry any weapon there. And he went into a Twin Peaks restaurant, not bar, Twin Peaks restaurant, carrying a rifle, and he complied with the law. Basically, the manager came out and said, hey, we don't want you to come in here with a rifle. No problem. He left, went back, secured his rifle, and then came back and had his lunch. There were no other issues with it. It wasn't a big deal. Thank you, Eternal Fidelity. So this story is a little bit involved, and I'm going to try and give it to you as quickly as I can. Patrick, when you remember Patrick caught that sleeping sergeant in his patrol car. Sleeping, resting his eyes, whatever he was doing. Okay, I'm not going to argue that point right now. That sergeant is the number 2 guy with the Oklahoma City Police Officers Union. Hence, Oklahoma City PD has been targeting Patrick. They've been looking at some of his older videos, going out and finding people and getting them to file a complaint for harassment or disorderly conduct, and they've been charging Patrick with those, cutting him tickets and sending him in the mail or whatever. I think we covered that already. Now, fast forward just a little bit to this incident with Timothy Harper. Timothy Harper is associated with Patrick. Once they associated him with Patrick, they filed charges on him for this carrying the weapon into Twin Peaks. They arrested him. They called him pretending to be press. Said, "We want to do an interview with you about this incident. Can you meet us at the gun range?" He met them at the gun range. Turns out they're cops. They arrest him. Off to jail he goes. When have we seen that tactic before? From what kind of police department have we seen that tactic before? Hey, we're going to have a press conference. Everybody come over here. This seems to be the tactic of corrupt government officials, is what it looks like to me. All right, so they arrested News Now OkC, charged him with carrying a weapon in a prohibited place. Normally, the bond for that is $2,500, and that's typical of people that are arrested for this offense. They arraigned him, and anybody want to guess what his bond amount is? $100,000 bond, and it has to be in cash. I'm not kidding. I'm totally serious. So I think that we're going to get the bond reduced. It's being worked on. He has an attorney at this point. So I'm not worried about that. What we're worried about is he's sitting in the county jail. They have him in isolation. He's a diabetic. He's not getting fed right. He's not getting his diabetic medication in a timely fashion. Yes, not $100. I see that in the chat. $100,000. $100,000. We'll get the bond reduced. The lawyer's working on that right now. They've already filed a writ of habeas corpus. I'm not worried about that. What I need is anybody that can. They're posting links in the chat to Otto. That's the whole point. Nobody's got that kind of money, and it has to be in cash. The idea is to keep him in jail. The bond will get reduced. All right. So what we're trying to do at this point is raise money for attorney fees if he needs them, but more than that, we're raising bond money for Tim. All right. They're posting the link in the description here. Guys, if you could, if you got a few dollars or $5 or whatever, you throw it in the pot and help us get Tim out of jail. Make no mistake about it. This goes for any activist that is arrested anywhere at any time. When you are arrested and held in jail, you are in enemy territory. Okay? They say there's no political prisoners in the United States. That's a lie. It's a lie. I've got activists being arrested and persecuted for their political activism left and right. They just cover it up really well. That's all. Wow, almost 900 people. I think. Thanks, guys, for coming in. So they're posting links to the PayPal donation site. If you guys, like I said, if you can go in there and throw some cash out there, we want to get him out of jail as soon as possible. The first opportunity, we need to get him out of jail. I think that's all I can tell you for right now. I'm in contact, or will be in contact with the attorney tomorrow, asking if there's anything else we can do. I've spoken with the Second Amendment guys up there in Oklahoma. They're kind of a wishy-washy group. They want all the rights, but we don't use them publicly. No. We want to have all our rights. We want to fight for open carry, but nobody should open carry. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the Second Amendment groups up there in Oklahoma State. They are not like Open Carry Texas at all. I'll talk good about Open Carry Texas all day long. These guys stood up, fought for our rights, And then once we got our rights, they still fought for us. I mean, you've seen what happened to C.J. Grisham out there in Olmos Park, Jack Miller, Todd Ferguson, you know, SAXDC Prez, and Texas Sheepdog, and, well, C.J. Grisham was just C.J. Grisham. You know, once we get these laws codified, we get them brought into being, and then what happens? The police want to come and violate them, and the only way we're going to do to beat that down, to fight that off, is to straighten out these cops. We got to get the unions out of the police departments. These unions are nothing but organized criminal organizations. Organized criminal organizations. And go call the FBI, get the FBI involved. They'll go in there and straighten that union out. The FBI is part of their unions. The government is not going to help us. We've got to help ourselves. And that means helping each other. I have in the past helped activists that I didn't like. I've given them money. I've given them support. You know, I may not agree with them, but I do agree that, you know, their activism needs to happen. And so I have done that a lot of times in the past. I will tell you that I am 100% behind News Now OkC, Timothy Harper. 100% behind this guy. So they're posting the link. I'll put the link to the donation site in the description of this video. And again, if you can spare a few dollars, hey, hop over there and put some money in, and let's get Tim out of jail. More importantly, let's get Tim out of the prison camp that our government, our unionized thugs, have thrown him into. This is no different than the POW camps they had in Vietnam. There's really not much difference. That's it, guys. Appreciate you jumping in here and watching. I don't think I've ever had a live stream where I had 900 people watching. I don't do live streams very often. I appreciate you guys popping in here, and I appreciate any help that you can throw Tim's way. That is it. I will see you guys again soon. Moderators, if you would, one more time, go ahead and post the link to that donation site. You're right, Otto. Our government has become it's not our government. It's not our government that's become a terrorist organization. It's the people in the government. Law enforcement is becoming domestic terrorists. Okay, before I jump off here, I'm going to give you guys a piece of my mind. When police misuse their power to go after people, and there is no accountability for that, they are mercenaries. They are domestic terrorists. That is it. Plain and simple. And the fact that so many tolerate and allow this, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. I've always preached, that I believe in our government and support our government. Well, less and less I'm preaching that, less and less, because I'm really beginning to believe that we're headed for a civil war. And I might even do a video about that. You guys, y'all watch for that. In the meantime, be safe, and I will see you again soon. Again, if you can throw just a couple dollars, $5, whatever you can afford, let's get Tim out of enemy territory. Let's go. We got to go buy his freedom from the government. Thanks, guys. Y'all be safe.